All right, welcome back to Marketing Hooks Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Thorick, and today I have a good friend of mine, Charles Hackman, who is the self-made digital entrepreneur. He's the founder of the Letmetalk AI, which is the AI tech company. And as he just told me, his team was banned from WeWork.
And what a great introduction.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on, brother.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, we didn't see you for a while, and wanted to ask how's everything going, and ask you a couple of questions regarding marketing, because that's exactly what you do and what I do, but
Absolutely.
we have like different industries, I would say. So could you drive me through your journey of becoming a marketer? Like where did it started?
Right. So it started a while ago, man. I started off when I was younger, a few years ago, like about almost like I think 5 years now. I was doing e-commerce for a while, and that's really how I got started. I was playing around with tons of different tactics, mostly on social media though, like everything that was Facebook ads. And I got introduced to messenger marketing when it first came out, like when ManyChat was early like beta software, and they just came out basically. And that's really where I started niching down, because when I first started, I did e-com, and then I switched over to an agency model. And it was the first time I was owning an actual, in my opinion, an actual business where you start building your network, making the proper mistakes to learn where, how can I say, to learn how to eat shit, basically. Because I've never really worked corporate. I've never worked in a corporation. I've never really finished university or whatever. So the only way you can learn is through failing and through screwing things up and through mentors and stuff like that. So that's really how I built my business. Was simply my first 2 years with my marketing agency was I was screwing up left and right. Sometimes I would hit a home run and it would work really well for some clients, and sometimes it was like it didn't really go as planned. And since I didn't have the proper business experience, and I didn't have a structure or procedures overall, I figured out where I was lacking. And then in my third year with that specific business, it allowed me really to allowed me to start building my name around Montreal and around Canada with this type of service, because at first I was offering pretty much anything. And then the more I was doing only two specific services, which were Facebook ads and messenger marketing, the more I just centralized my core business around that. And in my third year with that business, that's really what I started getting known for across the community. And that's really what my expertise was, Other than that, I started getting known for being a good salesman, being just overall a good business owner, building a good team culture and everything. And what happened was I started getting tired after that third year of just simply being known as a marketing agency. Just because there's so many people who got into that industry at the same time that I did. And you've probably read this book. I'm looking through your bookshelf in the back. Have you ever read The Blue Ocean Strategy?
I didn't read the book itself, but I read a couple of chapters within another book. So I know how it works. I know the concept.
Great book. I love that book. I really recommend it. So anyone watching, I definitely recommend Blue Ocean Strategy. If you're stuck in somewhere where you're not making yourself stand out, definitely start reading that book. But basically, yeah. So I read that book, and it gave me an idea of how I could still offer the same type of expertise, only frame it differently. And that's when I started Letmetalk, basically. So instead of saying that I am a marketing agency offering Facebook advertising and messenger marketing services, I wanted to brand myself as the #1 conversational tech company for small to medium businesses here in Montreal. And that's exactly how I did it. And then afterwards, man, the rest just came along. I think I got lucky, maybe, but I met some tremendous, very, very amazing people who had different knowledge and expertise in other domains than I did. And I built a business with them. I mean, I started the Letmetalk in March 2019, and then met my partner in June 2019. And then pretty much after that, we incorporated July, and within a year, we grew the business together. to 20 employees and clients across North America, and serving mostly, I'd say we really ended up niching down into specifically online businesses. I mean, we've dabbled with other types of industries, but what we're really good at, and that's what's cool, is we added a lot of services now to our service offer. So it's not just Facebook ads and conversational marketing anymore. It's that we have 3 departments basically. We have marketing, IT, and financial consulting. So what happens is not only do we generate revenue for online businesses, but we also help them, collect that data and structure it using IT systems. And then we also integrate all these systems together to build a full ERP so that they can have pretty much a fully operational business system that works for them. And then after that, we add in the financial consulting, where we help them, plan their inventory. We help them plan their budgets. So overall, it's more than just offering a service. We really become partners with our
solution.
Yeah, and we give them a full business engineering solution rather than just here's some ads.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And what I realized with this business model, and that's what really helped us grow so quickly, is this allowed us to, first of all, increase our client retention rate very effectively. Because we both own marketing agencies, and I mean we know the industry. Your client retention rate will probably be 3 to 6 months on average.
Yeah, usually.
The fact that, you have shorter term contracts since people it's a result based relationship. It's easier to build that relationship and to get them started. However, it's harder to keep them on because, there's always someone else who's going to offer a cheaper price. The way, people always get used to the results, but they don't get used to the bills.
That is so true. I had this talk with my friend yesterday. Like he has a client, it's his 3rd month. He's bringing crazy results for him. And the guy's like, what did you guys do the 1st month? He's like, this. What did you guys do the 2nd month? This. What did you guys do the 3rd month? He's like, not much. We just tweaked a couple of things here and there. He's like, yeah, but why am I paying? He's like, well, we build the system for you and you're getting these results.
Yeah. And that was the main issue that I noticed with this industry, and I was getting tired of it. So by adding IT projects and accounting and financial consulting, which are 2 industries which are very more based off of trust and expertise rather than results, you're combining industries together, first of all, that help each other out, but also, like I said, it drastically increases the retention rate to a point where we've been in business for over a year now, and our customer retention rate is 80%. So we weeded out, let's say, the customers we not necessarily didn't want to work with, or some just, didn't have the budget to keep continuously working with us. But overall, most of our clients who we ended up getting good results and then upselling IT, upselling accounting, have stayed with us for a very long time, and they're very happy because we're able to give them that full service.
Well, it's awesome. Yeah, it's all about bringing value. And I like how we said in the beginning, you're trying to do different services, different industries and niches, like niching down to different things. And a lot of people are still trying to find that perfect niche for them, I guess, because, well, majority of them, they want to get the most profitable niche. That's what people are looking for.
Yeah.
And I would say it really depends on, like, you just choose a niche that you would like to serve. And I guess you guys found that niche.
Well, yeah, well, exactly. It's not even about like, oh, what is more profitable? It's just what makes people happy,
Yeah.
Because in terms of profit, bro, like, let's say if I look back in March, right before COVID, we were closing a deal a day, selling packages to real estate brokers. I had a full sales team. I had 5 guys cold calling, cold emailing, doing outreach. We were closing a broker a day, So profitable, 100%. I mean, you know how it can be simple to build out a chatbot for brokers and then run ads for them. So overall, it was a very simple, duplicable method. However, was it fun for my team who were in production, who had to do that type of work? They told me, man, we're bored. Like, we're not switching up content that much. These people don't have multiple products that they try to work on. We're not working with like a big brand. So overall, like they were getting tired of it. So then when COVID hit, and we said, let's switch to e-commerce and really go down that route, because that's where that's where the money is going to be. We ended up having a lot of fun working with e-commerce stores simply because, like I said, they have so many different variables to success that everything needs to be on point in so many different sectors that it's just overall it's really fun and there's a lot more creative to it.
Yeah, the creative part is what brings in the fun part, I guess. Same thing for us
Absolutely.
restaurants. It's like we need to find it's really interesting to, like, let's say whenever we run an ad or like create the contest for people to join and to collect their information, and then to see how people react, because you can see the feedback right away. Like with some of the clients or some of the industries, you need to wait for the feedback for a while. In case
No,
with this guys, it's just right away.
well, exactly. I mean, and that's the thing. I feel like these, like, all these online advertising tactics that are fueled by data are most effective for online businesses, just because like you said, it can be immediate. As much as, like, we can say, oh, we can get you results within 6 months. With the stuff we're doing now, I'm confident that we can get results within a month now, just because we've tailored down and we narrowed down our expertise and we know exactly what are the variables that are going to make a business succeed within a month or 3 months,
Oh yeah, 100%. I wanted to ask you that, well, since the name of the podcast, yeah, I usually ask every single person, the name of the podcast is Marketing Hooks. So
Right.
what's that one marketing hook, or like maybe multiple hooks, that helped you to get where you are today?
That's a good question. Some marketing hooks. I'd say, honestly, two things. First of all, attention is everything. I think we live in a world where attention is more powerful than anything. I mean, look at all the recent events that happened, COVID, the Black Lives Matter movements. There's tons of stuff that happened where it goes up and then it goes down. And so I analyze what's going on the market. I analyze how people react to stuff, and what I realize is, if you can have people's attention for a long period of time, if you're able to get that traction going, it's very, very powerful for your business, whether it's for personal or the business itself. I think people focus. I feel like with this, what happened with our marketing methods now, people are too focused on how much money a campaign can bring. So if they look, they're going to look at their ad results and they're going to be like, oh, I only got 2x return on ad spend. When you look at the bigger picture, I want to see how much attention I got, how much traction I got, how much people, how much qualified people can I get that are going to see me every day. And that's the thing. I want to be present every day in people's lives, whether it be through greater value or through ads or whatever. I need to be there, because it gives you that omnipresence.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like building the brand
That presence will benefit you in tons of other aspects other than just that monetary return,
Yeah, and that's what people care most about these days. They don't think about the big picture, because the brand is everything these days. With the voice that's coming in the future, let's say I have Alexa at home, and or I'm using Google Assistant all the time. And the next time I'll want to, let's say, order pizza, I'm gonna say, Alexa, call Domino's, because I know Domino's and it's not far from here.
Right.
But if I'm gonna say, Alexa, order pizza, Amazon can open a pizza store.
Yeah.
And that's what they just launched, actually, Amazon Podcasts. Not sure if you heard about that.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so that's their new project that they have. It would be fun if Jeff Bezos has his own podcast.
Bro, I would listen to that, man. I would listen. That guy has a lot going for him.
Yeah.
I
So
would definitely listen to that.
yeah, and as you said, attention is everything, and like building a brand is extremely important. And it doesn't really matter in which industry, whether you're like a doctor, in real estate, a marketer, a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like if I need a doctor, I'm gonna say, Alexa, call this office, but I'll know the name. Let's say, Alexa, call Legal Logic, and we both know it, right?
Jamie Ben-Israel is an amazing example of that.
Yes.
I base my point off of those types of people, whether it be Jamie, Grant Cardone, whatever. The thing is Jamie's a great example. I've always looked up to his ways of doing things, especially with the community, you know, where he's everywhere. He'll be at this fundraiser. He'll be on this board. He'll be posting content on LinkedIn. And his mentality is good about it. He knows that it won't bring him an immediate return, but he knows that the more he does it, the more present he is, the more people are thinking about him. And no, so I agree with you. That's a great example.
Yeah, because the last time I interviewed him, he mentioned that his goal was to simply be on top of mind of like whenever people need a lawyer, it's him.
Exactly, and that's the way to go. I mean, and that's kind of the field we wanted to go here for Montreal. You know, like people know us for
this,
you know, exactly. Like obviously we do so much more, but due to the fact that we've branded ourselves in that way, when you talk about conversational marketing for small to medium businesses, we're the number one people who pop up. We're number one who reach out to, because we've built that notoriety, we've gotten that attention, and we're still getting that attention.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's well, that's the way to go.
That's the way to go.
Where do you think the future of AI and chatbots will be?
I think there's going to be much more restrictions. I feel like a lot of people are starting to get more and more scared of where this is heading, whether it be AI, simply like conversational marketing. So I feel like people like this thing. I say that people are scared about their data, but then people still answer questions, people still fill out forms, people still do this and that. So overall, I feel there's going to be a certain, I'm going to use the French word, réticence against this type of technology coming from the consumers. But at the end of the day, the user experience is so nice. It's so easy. Because like, here's the thing. As much as phones are toxic and people get distracted by using them and stuff like that, as much as they're essential, you can't run a business without your phone or your computer anymore, you know? No. And I feel it's getting the same way with this type of tool. It's so powerful for customer service and sales, and it's so easy to use that people are still going to use it, you know? I mean, I have like, we check our stats for conversational marketing, and we have crazy satisfaction rates due to the fact that it's a fun, interactive conversation. It's much better than filling out a simple form. And overall, the business gets better results and the customer gets what he wants faster. So at the end of the day, you weigh out the pros and cons, and I mean, there's too many pros, and the cons are just too, they're not présents immédiatement, so people don't think of them.
Well, and also I think right now it's still something new for people. Not many people see conversational marketing, because the majority of agencies or marketers are still using funnels, which is great, but yeah, it's basically a different tactic. Let's put it this way. But
exactly. And the reason why I use it mostly is just because I can gather so much data, you know? I mean, someone enters a messenger marketing funnel, and we ask them, like, people are willing to answer up to 10 questions usually on average, okay? So overall, think about it this way. Someone just enters my messenger marketing funnel. Not only do I get their messenger ID, I get their name, their gender, their language, I get their profile picture. Then let's say I ask them 10 questions and they answer all of them. I get 10 questions plus email plus phone, and then they book a meeting, let's say. Overall, those perfect client profiles that I build, we gather so much data that then we put them all, we store them, and then we're able to categorize, because we're currently building a software for e-com that will be able to categorize people based off of answers they say through conversation, and also just through their basic purchase behaviors. Let's say it's through Shopify or whatever. And we have an AI platform that we're currently building that's going to be able to analyze and figure out which consumers are most likely to do higher purchases or purchase again or whatever. And then we can create lookalike audiences of those very, very, very specific customer profiles. So overall, where was I heading with this? I kind of got lost in my thoughts. But yeah, my point being is the fact that we're able to gather that much data using conversational benefits immensely compared to more of a traditional funnel where like you'll be able to still capture data and make them fill out a form, but the completion rate is usually shorter, smaller.
It is, yeah, because people also got used to it and they already know the process. They know what to expect. In this
Exactly.
case, it's something new, something more engaging for them. Like I can see it from a restaurant point of view,
Yeah.
how people engage with the different QR codes when they like take a picture, and then the bot would engage and be like, hey, do this, and like where you're gonna get this discount, and
Yeah.
you just go through this whole sequence and you see how people react.
A good thing for restaurants, if you want to talk about marketing hooks, restaurants should, like all restaurants are now, like some of them gave up on the paper menu because of COVID. So they make people scan a QR code for the menu.
Yeah.
What they should do is they should make people scan a QR code, which leads them into Messenger for the menu. And then they could have options like what's the Wi-Fi password and stuff like that as well.
That's exactly what we do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's brilliant. I mean, it's really powerful because instead of just giving them a menu through a QR code and then you're like, you don't get the maximum value out of a customer that's sitting down. The way, if you can get them, like, think about it this way, they're obligated to go into Messenger to get their menu. They're not going to leave the restaurant. So overall you're capturing tons of leads into Messenger. Then you can just simply send out some broadcasts to them and in your low periods for the restaurants and stuff like that. So overall, I would put that into application with every restaurant that's going through COVID right now.
Oh yeah, 100%. And a lot of them they still don't understand it.
No.
And for some reason, chains also don't do it. Like where was it? I just got this flyer from, pretty sure you know the restaurant, Casa Greg, right?
Yeah, of course.
I went to their website. There's nothing about chatbots.
Zero.
This is what they sent me. So I was like, seriously?
But see, that still works because it's very traditional. People here, you get those flyers, they keep them and they store them at home. I mean, a good example is pizza places. Like, I'll still go to my parents' house sometimes and let's say they order a pizza. They're not going to go online. They're going to go take out their little fucking flyer that they've had for 12 years, open it up, look at the numbers.
Yeah.
Some things stay the same, but I think it would be to, not cancel out all of those old strategies, but mix them with new strategies.
Yeah, because like things are changing, and if you're not gonna jump on a train now, like I know that I think it was 6% of restaurants in Canada closed permanently.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And then I made a post on, like, I was on a walk and then here in the neighborhood, and I was passing a mall, and I looked at the mall. I'm like, I knew that we had like lots of restaurants, different types of restaurants. I looked at it. I'm like, I've never seen an ad from any of these restaurants.
Right.
It's been like a year and like 2 months that I live here in this area.
Yeah.
Never, which was crazy.
No, and I agree. But it's also like, how could I say? I think also COVID cleaned up a lot of businesses, not just restaurants, but a lot of businesses that were hanging on by a thread. And I think, like, as much as it's sad, as much as also I think it's a good thing that it cleaned up, because it can, for us business owners, it shows us who are the real players that are still standing, who are the real players who innovated, who switched up their things, who are the ones who can actually afford to survive this. So who you can work with afterwards. I think it was a good eye opener in a way where you now know who's really solid, whose reins are solid.
Yeah, and who's ready for the change too.
Exactly. Now, obviously, restaurants may not be the best example of, like, speaking of solid reins right now, but still.
Well, it depends on which one. Like, if like McDonald's are doing great, those guys are.
Of course, 100%.
And like in my head, I'm like, why wouldn't you, like all the people that own restaurants, why wouldn't you look at McDonald's and take this as an example?
Yeah.
And start implementing what they do. Basically, model what they do. It's like, let's say in our entrepreneurial world, they usually say, if you want to become a successful person, model that person who you want to become, right?
Yeah.
Basically the same thing.
Well, yeah, 100%. And through COVID, I mean, grocery delivery boosted like crazy. I've seen a few companies of that.
I heard the numbers of the metro.
Yo, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So overall, some people took the opportunity to I have a few friends who got into that and overall, like it blew up. I have other friends also who hopped on the trend of the mass trend, and they're making multiple 7 figures a week right now doing that. It's insane. So even though there's a pandemic, I feel that whenever there's like big disrupt in the normal flow of work, I feel there's always people who find these opportunities. There's always more opportunity when there's hard times. And that's what I like, is people who can seize those opportunities and take the risk and go for it. The reward is excessively high.
Yeah, and what I realized is that during crisis like this kind of crisis, people think that the money are gone. It's not that it's gone; they just change hands, and we need to figure out like where do they move.
Exactly. No, I agree. I agree 100% with you.
Yeah, and if you find that point, it's like, okay, we're gonna get that part.
Yeah, but it's also even in real estate now, like with what this is, like this pandemic switched a lot of things up. Like if you look for real estate, Walmart doesn't make necessarily its money off of the products they sell. Walmart makes money from their smart centers. So let's say Walmart will own a piece of land, and they're going to build tons of little shopping things around. And then at the end of that complex of that smart center, there's going to be a Walmart. So people have to go through the entire like walkway until they get to Walmart. So what do? They go see the stores, they shop around. So what happens is Walmart then leases out all those little stores that they built. And that's how they make their money, because they say, we can guarantee you 30,000 people a week that are going to pass by your store. But what happens when retail is dying and then there's a pandemic? It's not the case anymore. So you see even switches in the real estate industry where you still have to build these mega centers in order to drive massive amounts of traffic and build $250 million projects. But how do you do it if your main source of traffic died off because of a pandemic? Well, you need to look at other industries where you still have to show up physically. Like, and we're getting into this. Our business is getting into we're diversifying our sources of revenue. So we're starting. We partnered up with a company, and we're gonna work with sports leagues. So we're gonna be like mapping, like we're gonna be acquiring sports leagues across Montreal. And what's gonna happen is we're gonna have those leagues to a sports complex. So like we're part of a sports complex development, and what's cool is that sports complex it's one of the biggest ones in Laval. And what's happening is that sports complex will be able to drive massive amounts of traffic, just like that Walmart example. So what happens is you build smart centers around that. You build tour de condo around that, because that's a physical location that people still have to show up and still can show up. See what I mean?
Yeah, of course. And in your case, as you said, sports complex, people do love sport and like practicing different types of sports, and it's basically a religion.
You can't. That's the thing. You can't do it virtually.
No.
Compared to, let's say, you can shop virtually. You can do, but sports, you still have to show up. So that's why it's about, in my opinion, adapting and figure out new solutions in order to not necessarily stir away from the same business model, but simply readapting.
I saw there was, I saw a video from Patrick Ben David. I think it was a story or something on Instagram where he was at the mall, and he met a guy that was talking about this special project that they're gonna create in the mall. And he was like, well, all right, like cool. And then like 7 years later, which is like now, they basically created a special place for kids within the mall where they can come in, and like every single place is a place where kids can go in and like learn a new profession. So if they want to become cops, if they want to be a firefighter, if they want to be a nurse, if they want to like any profession, they go in, and then there's like a person who does who's a professional in that field that basically teaches kids and like explains how everything works, and like this way it brings malls back to business.
100%.
Yeah,
I like that. I didn't see the video.
I don't remember what, because there's a name of that project. I forgot the name. I'll try to, well, if I'll see it, I'm gonna send it to you. They
Perfect.
started doing it in Texas, so I mean it's going to be super new for Canada.
Oh yeah, well, we're always a few years late. And
Yeah.
then Quebec's like another 5 years after.
Yeah, that's what I was going through numbers like comparing restaurant industry in US and Canada.
Yeah.
Canada's like 1/10 of US. But nuts. I didn't
Yeah.
know that it's that big. I mean, the US is that big.
US is huge. Like it's a different type. Like as much as I've been telling my sales team, like, hey, I want us to go in the US market. I want us to get clients there and blah blah blah. It's such a different game, man. I'm looking at the business owners there, like that, the circle of Patrick Ben David, Bradley, Albert Preciado, all these guys. Like it's another different type of mentality and ball game, man. And it's a cool. I'm excited to eventually get into that playing field. Like it's another game, man.
Yeah, they're pretty, well, sharks. They
Yeah.
are sharks.
100%.
Yeah. Well, could you, well, I have two more questions. You actually already told me, you gave me an answer to one of them. I wanted to ask you, what one book would you recommend to read for fellow marketers or entrepreneurs? And it was the Blue Ocean Strategy. Is there
I recommend also. I have a few actually. If you want, I can.
Sure.
Um, let me see here. I have a few that I really like. Depends what we're going for, but one that I obviously like. You even mentioned Patrick earlier, but his book, Your Next Five Moves. I think Patrick's an amazing entrepreneur, and he's well rounded in terms of businesses since he has a lot of experience building multiple different businesses. So overall, and he built a $300 million company with over 1,000 agents across the U.S. So overall, 10,000. Sorry, 10,000.
It's already 15. Like the latest video I was watching, he said 15,000.
15,000. See what I mean?
That's crazy.
It's huge. It's huge. So my point being is his book is really good because it covers a lot of different business strategies. It covers a lot of different business theory as well, and it's very well rounded. So that's a book I would definitely recommend. So Patrick Ben David, Your Next Five Moves is also a book that I cherish dearly.
Well, I got it. I didn't read it yet. Still reading The Traffic Secrets. It's pretty big.
Yeah, traffic. Well, Russell Brunson's fucking.
Yeah,
he's brilliant. He's also someone who is very impressive. Like il a l'air de rien, just by the way he looks and everything. But then you listen to him. I listen to him talk a lot, and he's very convincing.
He is, yeah. Even though he talks like about like simple topics and like the stories that he does on Instagram, it's just sharing his life and like he's a like chill guy.
Right.
And at the same time, the company is going to like as understood, their goal right now is to make $1 billion.
Yeah, and I'm confident they're gonna get there.
Oh yeah.
You look at Shopify, how it blew up, like the stock blew up right before COVID, like during COVID crashed a bit and then went up as an arrow, went up to $1,400 a share. I mean, every e-com through COVID blew up. A lot, like any online platform blew up.
And it's gonna
so
go.
I'm confident ClickFunnels can get there for sure.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that e-commerce is going to grow even more because people got used to it now.
Yeah.
And it's fast, it's simple. And
I feel like that sense of distrust that people had from shopping online completely faded away through the last few years. And
that's what Amazon did.
With Amazon, that I feel like with Amazon that took the lead, everyone just started completely trusting blindly everything online now. So I'm sure you remember, like back in the days, like people were like, "Oh, don't shop there; it's a scam," and they thought that when you would buy something online, it was a scam every time. Which it's not so far long ago,
No, not at all. Like I saw the news. Amazon, they were working on this project where they wanted to deliver products in 30 minutes with drones, and now they got the U.S. government approved it, so now they'll start doing it.
That's crazy, man.
And
That's
30
crazy.
minutes, seriously? Like, how do you want other businesses to like to compete with you? Like
Yeah.
they can't afford it.
Well, and that's kind of not that it's scary. It's just I'm impressed, man. Like as much as people say, oh, Amazon is swallowing up all the businesses and blah blah blah.
They
I'm
were saying the
impressed.
same thing about Walmart. Now Amazon is killing Walmart.
Yeah,
There's always going to be the next guy.
but like I'm not even scared. I'm just impressed. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and I mean, I don't mind it that like because what happened is they popularized they made online shopping accessible, fast, and easy, which pushed other people to improve their service quality, which pushed people to improve their shipping delays, their customer service, because they knew that they would get swallowed up if they didn't do so. So at the end of the day, if overall, even if though they own a massive market share and they're a $2 trillion company, I feel like it improved other businesses and
Yeah.
it showed the lead on what a good online company should be.
And then they made the world a better place, I guess. Made things easier, simpler for people to use.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll see where it brings us.
Yeah.
Is there a tip, like is there a best tip for making the world a better place?
You know what? Yeah, there is. I feel like if you're able to provide as much value as you can through your expertise, through your knowledge, or through your time, or whatever, I think it's not about like yes, you can build something that will change the world. You know, we look at Jeff Bezos, we look at Elon Musk. You know, these guys are incredible. However, I'm a very I feel like my core values and beliefs are that it starts from the individual, where if every single person improves themselves first, it's gonna make that will be the true impact. Like as Jordan Peter says, clean your room before you go out and try to clean the world.
Yeah.
I follow those principles and values very seriously, where I won't go and try to change the world as long as I don't have my own shit together, you know? And then once I have my own shit together, then I'm gonna look how I can gradually improve stuff.
And one step at a time.
Yeah, it's important. It's important to think big. I think, you know me, I'm a very, I think very big, and I push for very ambitious things. However, my principal foundations are still the individual needs to figure their shit out first and improve. It's small micro improvements that are gonna. It's a compound effect on the long term.
Well, yeah, 100%. Like as I like to, well, I usually say like 1% better every single day. And like at the end of the year, you're 365% better.
Yeah,
As you just said, yeah, the compound effect.
it's a compound effect, my friend.
All right, man. Well, it was a pleasure having you on a podcast.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate coming on, and I wish you the best, my friend. And we'll have to look. We'll have to link up and go have a coffee or something and catch up, man.
All right, yeah. Where people can find you?
Oh shit, yeah, it's true. They can go if they want to follow Letmetalk. We post we used to post content daily, and then we kind of slowed down. We post content twice or three times a week. They can go find us at letmetalk.ai on Instagram. That's our Instagram handle, and we post tons of informative carousels. The content's pretty cool. I'm really happy with our current posting and branding. So that's it for that. They can find us also. They can go check out our website at letmetalk.ai. So pretty simple to remember. And if anyone wants to reach out to me and just have a talk or something, they can always reach out to me on my Instagram at Charles Hackman. Basically, pretty simple.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks again, and I'll wish you a great rest of the day.
Yeah, thank you, brother. And let me take a little Instagram. Sorry, I'll just take a picture of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just give a good smile. There you go. Awesome, bro. So take